meant for you will find you when you are being yourself. Here you are. What happened when I stopped hiding my joy? In this last video, we talked about finally being brave enough to stop hiding your joy. So, deciding to speak up, smiling and saying, today, I want to talk to you guys of how joyful I am and why I am joyful. And then I explained to them the 5 pillars of prosperity. So I'm going to take you through what happened when I said yes. Yes to me. Stood in front of my group of friends and said, I am joyful, I am fulfilled, and I'm no longer going to pretend otherwise. Well, the moment of truth, I knew I had to do it. Because I created the 5 pillars of prosperity. It's working for me. It's working for others that I have trained. And I got it when I was helping someone else. I realized it wasn't financial problem. It was emotional. And financial was a symptom, but the emotional behavior was the cause of all what was not working in their life. And there I gave birth to the 5 pillars of prosperity. This one. Not a big book, but a very strong, easy to read book that will propel everybody to live in a fulfilled life. So once I did that, the headaches, the discomfort, the shrinking feeling I was tired of left. I spoke up, and when I spoke up, the world opened. I told them I'd been growing. I had created this book and I started following it because I was living it. That I was finally living in alignment with the 5 pillars of prosperity. I told them that joy wasn't something I stumbled into. It was something I chose, I created, and I used it on me. Something I built from scratch, and I made it part of my life. And then I paused, I waited. Their reaction at first was amazing. The room was quiet. This was my ladies group. Nobody spoke. And then suddenly someone smiled. A few of them looked surprised. One even said, you know, for the past year, I thought something was different about you lately. But not everyone was happy. You know, not everyone is ever happy in your life. One person just rolled eye. Another said, must be nice, in a tone that was more bitter than curious. And I felt that the old fear creeping back in. Oh God, what did I do? Now that I did it, this one is not happy. This one doesn't get it. Oh my God, I felt so bad. And then I said, well, you know, it's out there. I said, well, this is what I did. I know you guys know. So courage in the face of discomfort. That had to kick in. That's the truth. Not everyone will celebrate your joy. Get that into your head. Not everybody. And sometimes the people you wish and you trust to celebrate the joy, these are those that leave you without the joy. And that's okay. Because courage isn't about being applauded. It's about showing up anyway. I showed up for me. I showed up for the belief that this was going to be the best for me. Because at that moment, it gave me more strength than I even thought possible. It was like a load fell off my shoulder. I felt so good, like I didn't have anything on my shoulders anymore. I felt relaxed. It's like I lost 10 pounds just saying that. Then there were little groups of whispers, like, and then I have to deal with that. But that was not my business though. My concern was saying, I created these 5 pillars of prosperity. I embrace the 5 pillars of prosperity and I teach it to myself. I live it first so I can bring it to others. One lady said, I need to get that book. I need to do it. And a few of them decided right there and then, I watched them, they bought it right off their phone in the minute. But there is more to this. So part 2 is coming up to hear what really truly went down because of that taking up and picking up the courage to do my best. So let's see how that worked out. If you're looking for someone to be a speaker at any of your events that you're planning, get in touch with me. My email address is right here, and you can contact me, and I would love to give you more about making life choices to you or any of the topic on living a fulfilled life. Have a great day. So with my group of friends, the moment I picked up my courage and I talked about what I was feeling and how joyful I am and how relaxed and how so many things have changed in my life, it was really different to see the different personalities. And that moment I gained more strength than I thought possible. I was like, I'm finally stepped into the sunlight after years in the shadow. So the connection that transforms. After the meeting, something beautiful happened. Yeah, truly happened. One of the ladies quickly and quietly pulled me aside and said, I needed to hear that. I've been hiding my own happiness because I didn't want to lose friends. I bought your book, I saw one of your videos, and I bought the book. And I've been doing it now for 6 months, and I can tell you it was a game changer for me. My husband, my children said, Mom, what has gotten over you? And I said, the 5 pillars did it. So now my husband looked at the book, he said, this is simple, so simple, yet so crucial, so important for others. So anyway, we hugged, we cried a little bit because I hadn't had anybody spoke to me about the 5 pillars in that way. And in that moment, a new connection was formed. One based on honesty, not conforming. So she didn't want to lose friends. So it reminded me that the people meant for you will find you when you are being yourself. That's what happened there. The people that are going to be in your life and they're there for you, they will find you. The moment you start being true to yourself, not pretending to have ailments because the group has ailments. And there was only joy, peace, tranquility, and I couldn't celebrate it. So growth was born from this being authentic. The moment you choose to be authentic, you're going to grow. That day was a turning point, not just in the group, but in me. I suddenly decided I don't have to leave the group. I just have to be in the group and shine. And if they want to catch the rays, they too can learn to shine. I realized that real growth isn't about changing to fit. It's about becoming more of who you truly are. It's about living boldly, even when your voice shakes. It was scary. I was, oh no, they're going to criticize me. It was scary. But that's how the 5 pillars support you, from emotional to spiritual to mental growth. Once you have those 3 going there, you can get the others right away. So if you are afraid to celebrate your joy, do not be. You may lose a few people, but you will find your own people. You'll find the people that are supposed to be there. Your courage for having taken that step and stand up for what you are and believe and to show it will deepen. Your connections will become more meaningful and your growth will be undeniable. People will start seeing you differently. So that woman and I kept being friends. We still are friends. But you know what is the great thing? Our group, women from the group, began one by one, buying the group and talking about the book. But in many cases, some of them, it hit so close to what they were going through that they told me I had to leave it, put it down. And it's a very tiny book, but it has a powerful message. You remember, Good things come in small packages. And some of the ladies told me I just had to let it go, Tessa-Marie, and come back to it. Because I needed to think, what am I doing? I am fighting with others that is not important. I'm letting other people's behavior affect me. I am eating the wrong foods. I'm criticizing myself. I'm criticizing others. I'm spending money to make me feel better. It was a total mess. But today I can tell you, most of these ladies in the group have picked up the 5 pillars as their guide. Some of them are still putting their feet in the water slowly because they're so afraid. They're still afraid that if they change and they are joyful, their personal family, their immediate family at home, husband, children, sisters, brothers, are going to tell them something is wrong with them, and it'll make them feel uncomfortable. One lady said, my family has always been a negative set. I am so scared to let them know what I'm doing. Don't let that be you. Embrace that. Remember, you may lose a few people, but you'll find your people. Your courage will deepen, your connections will become more meaningful, and your growth will be undeniable. So thank you for listening. You were not created to blend in, You weren't created to blend in. You were born to be bold, beautiful, and full of joy. Until next time, keep shining. Have a great and wonderful day. Let's live a fulfilled life together.